Hi, my name is Aurora Broderson, and this semester for my IDS Capstone project, I was a student director for the Elevate program. So just a brief background on what Elevate is, since some people may not know, it's a interdisciplinary competition where students come from all different disciplines come together and try and solve a problem that has to relate with social change. So we give them a theme. They have 2 weeks to prepare, and they come up with an idea on how to solve this problem. So this year's theme was balance, and the specific question was, how can students achieve their greatest potential by creating balance on campus? So just briefly, our main goals for this project as student directors, there were 7 of us, by the way. We first had to get the event approved. Because of COVID, we first of all had to push the event back from spring semester to the fall, and we had to adapt to a lot of different guidelines. So that was a big challenge, trying to figure out, do we do it hybrid? Do we cancel it altogether again? Trying to work through those, and in conjunction with that, just make sure that the event ran smoothly, since there was a lot of things to work through. Something else that was a big goal of ours was just to try and work as a team with the other directors. There were 7 of us, and we were all strangers beforehand, same with our mentor. And so we had to figure out how to really work as a team and take all of our ideas and talents and things and implement those together. Next was to first help the students have a positive experience. It's really important for us that people want to come back to the event. They want to participate later on in the future as student directors, and they find this really enjoyable. And then one of our most important goals after that was to promote social change on campus. So help these students transfer this idea that they made with their team into a real working program. So they are working with that with some other faculty members at the moment. And then lastly, we are kind of still working through this at the moment, but trying to find a set of new directors for next semester when the current ones leave and move on. So those are some of our main goals. This is just to show some of our logos that we created for this semester. So again, our theme was creating balance. So we have the 4 areas: spiritual, social, intellectual, and physical. So we display this on flyers, posters, our website, lots of different things. And then this is an example of our flyer that we passed out as well as put on our website. So just outlining the main events that they had, and then and our topic question, as well as our social media page. So some of the process that we went through to make this event happen, and some of the things that I specifically worked on, was first of all to run social media. We have a Instagram page and a Facebook page. And so I was part of a team that helped post on Facebook and Instagram and get the word out. I also met with some businesses to promote the event and try and get some more advertising, get some more support for our events. And that was in conjunction with advertising to students on campus. So we passed out flyers, we talked to as many people as we could, posted videos, all that kind of stuff. We also had weekly meetings with the other student directors to go over things that we were doing, talk about some of the new things that needed to happen. So that was a weekly occurrence. We also, as a whole team, we set up and ran the events. So we had our kickoff event, our director's preview, the initial competition, and the final competition. So each one of those was a really big, several kind of took up the whole day of us setting up and running those. And then I helped tabulate the scores at the end of the initial competition and declare a winner at the end with some of our other faculty members. And I was also one of 2 people who was in charge of our email account. So I checked the email and responded to emails that came in, sent stuff out. So those are some of the specific things that I worked on as a director. And so this is just a screen to kind of show some of the things that we worked on. So over here on the left-hand corner, just kind of a screenshot of our Zoom meeting. It's kind of evidence that we met each week. And then these big 3 columns are screenshots of our social media pages. So we have our BYUI Elevate account, and then this is over here on the right, just what our feed looks like, some of the posts that we worked on, and then in the middle of an example of a story that we posted. So we worked hard to try and make those, look professional and presentable, and get the word out about Elevate. And so next I want to talk about our results. So first and foremost, the event was approved to happen this semester. So it was really exciting. There was a lot of unknown at the beginning. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to have the event or what it would really look like, if it was going to be hybrid or all in person, or, with COVID, it was just really up in the air. So we got that approved, which was it was a relief for us. And we ended up using a hybrid format. So we had some students get together in small groups on campus or in their apartment, according to the COVID guidelines. And we also had some people who aren't in Rexburg or were more high-risk people, or whatever the situation may be, that they decided to do it all on Zoom. So we made sure that was an available option for anyone who felt more comfortable doing it that way. We had a good turnout of competitors considering the situation, considering we couldn't get the word out as well to people because they weren't here, and a lot of people were kind of nervous about COVID. So considering all those things, we had a really good turnout of people. We did, however, experience some technology problems, and that's kind of a given when you're presenting in a new way. So we definitely learned a lot from those, and we're going to try and work through the technology problems for our competitions in the future. And currently, like I mentioned before, the competition winners are working through their winning idea to get their idea kind of implemented as a real program. Now, these are just some pictures that we have from each of our events. So this is the kickoff, just a team that was there getting ready for the competition, and then us as student directors getting ready. Here was our initial competition. So we have some of the teams presenting or waiting for their turn. Again, the competition was a hybrid format. And then just some pictures of us student directors with our posters. And this was our final competition. So we did it in a ballroom. Again, hybrid competition as well. And so we also have some screenshots of what the Zoom meeting looked like, since some people were just watching on Zoom or presenting on Zoom. So we did a lot to kind of work through those things as well. And then these were our 2020 winners. We have our first place team, second and third place, so they all won a fun prize for winning. And they all did a really good job. We're really impressed with the ideas that they came up with. And before I end, I just kind of want to talk about some things that we wanted to improve on. We did really well considering the circumstances, but we did notice us as directors could have been given more responsibility. And we talked to our mentor and administrator about that. Also planning things out further in advance. There were some times that things were a little rushed, so we definitely learned from that. We also decided for next semester we're going to have fewer student directors, especially since this is more of a planning semester in the spring or in the winter. So we're going to have less student directors, and that will definitely help a lot. So you can read some more on the screen, but those were just a few of the things that we talked about that we can improve on for next time, and we're going to pass on to the future student directors. And then lastly, some things we did well. First of all, we pulled off a really good competition. The topic that was for the semester, balance, we felt was really relevant with this ever-changing society and lots of things up in the air. We felt balance was very applicable. Our social media also turned out well. We went from about 250 followers in the beginning to over 540. So we did really well. Definitely got the word out, increased our followers. So we were really happy with that. And our posters turned out well. The design team did a really good job of creating a good design and getting those up around campus. So again, that was my capstone project for this semester. I'm really grateful for the opportunity that I had to be an LA director. I learned a lot from it. I learned a lot how to work with a team, how to promote social change, both of those which are very applicable to my future career working with human resources and social change and things like that. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity I had, and so grateful for the other student directors and all the hard work that they put in. Thanks.